We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show.
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill Buwit, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how to turn a hate call into a love call. Guess whose show this is?
Could you imagine? What would your title be if it was your show?
Why data is important.
Oh, I would say how to turn a hate call into a...
Hang up.
There we go. Perfect. Awesome. Who would hang up first?
I would. I devised. This is funny. One time, This is long before you came aboard. I devised this call before there were tree systems. Press 1.
Oh.
So we devised this whole thing about if you don't want our offer, press 1. If you do want to accept our offer, press 2. And we still got tons of property in.
Wow.
But I look back on that now and I'm like, wow, we probably lost a lot of deals because I hear you on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this whole show's about.
It is.
This whole episode is all about how Jill takes someone who's ready to just beat us over the head because of the offer we sent into a transaction.
Right. Into something that we actually buy and everybody's happy.
Yeah. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Lee asks, hey all, I have a lot my wife and I recently inherited locally that I'm going to sell. My question is, everything I look at online shows that the lot line runs right through the neighbor's house. This lot was previously owned by a family friend who built the house and owned both lots. I've checked Google Earth, Google Maps, Parcel Fact, and also First American Title that I have access to show, and they all show the same thing. Are they all using incorrect data, or is the house straddling the lot lines? Thanks.
So this is really an interesting and timely question because I'm scouring some back tax property right now because I'm training 2 people internally, 2 young guys to kind of take this over for me so I don't have to do it anymore. Okay. And there's a lot of property that's on the back tax lists where there's a house and it's smack in the middle on a line between 2 lots. And so what ends up happening is that through the years, there's no mortgage on the property. So if there was, the mortgage company would figure this out and rectify it. But the person gets a tax bill, whoever's living in the house, maybe somebody died and the kids live there now or something, but they don't know the whole story. They get a tax bill and they pay it and they think the lot is they just think it's their house. That's a very logical thing. And so the other one just doesn't get paid. They don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. And so it goes back to the taxes. So this is actually a lot more common than people think. So we see this all the time. So what do you do? Is that the question here?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, I guess the question is, could this be? And the answer is yes, it could be.
It's it's not crazy common, but it happens
what you
all the time.
think. Yeah. What you are pulling up is very, very likely true, that the house is built right in the middle and nobody expected them to divide the property exactly in half, or they wouldn't have built that way.
So I will say this too, and this happens a lot with new people. In fact, I catch myself doing it even now. You pull up a source of data and you find out this is the case. There's a house on 2 lots. And then you say, that can't be right. I'm going to go over here to DataTree. And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to check Title Pro.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's the same thing. How about Google Earth? How about Parcel Fact? Oh, It's the same thing.
That's what happened.
Because it's all the same source of data. So the vast majority of the data that you look up through all these services is assessor data, especially the mapping part. Well, not especially the mapping part, but all the numbers and all that it's assessor-based data. You're just looking at it through a different way. So at some point, you stop looking at all 5 or 8 sources.
Yeah.
You just say, that's it. There is a small possibility that the satellite doesn't line up. But if the satellite doesn't line up, especially on Google Earth or Google Maps, it doesn't line up everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere in that tile of the satellite image. So you can see really quickly that it doesn't line up everywhere. But this is very common. So you have a couple choices here. You can buy the property and contact the owner and try to sell it to him, which in my experience doesn't go very well. Or you can walk away.
Right.
I think you should walk away.
That's what I think. After you take it all the way you can and confirm what it is. Talk to them too, by the way. It's where you need to make sure, because you're inheriting from, it sounds like a family member part of it. You need to, find out the story about it and they might be trying to sell you something that they know is a problem, and that's why they're trying to sell it to you or giving it to you. It sounds like he inherited it or something. You know what? There's a reason why.
Are they the homeowner or are they the lot owner? They're the lot owner,
I think
right?
the lot
The side
owner.
lot owner.
Yeah, I think he's inherited a lot, but yeah.
The truth is, if you're the homeowner, you're in trouble. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen. If you own that side lot, you have a tremendous amount of power. If you want to be
That guy.
if you want to be that guy,
Yeah, and say, hey,
you can say, "Hey, I own this property. Your house. I'm gonna,
I'm gonna do something. You have to rectify this. You have there's I'm sure procedure,
yeah."
You have
Well,
to
the
go
procedure
through.
is to get a survey.
right? And then the procedure to get them basically evicted off that 4 feet that they're on your property kind of thing.
And this can
I
turn
don't know if you
into a
want to be
10-year
that guy.
battle.
Now it's a Hatfields and
Right.
McCoys.
Or you could buy, or you could sell the property to the homeowner. This is the right thing to do: is sell the property
Yeah.
to the homeowner for $1,500 and call it even.
Exactly. Say
They're
congratulations.
happy, you're happy, and they
Here's-
don't really have a choice.
Here's what
other
the
than to
legal
buy it
fees
to
would
you.
be to rectify this.
Yeah.
So we can just call this. Let's just call it that.
I made a choice a long time ago, a way long time ago in my real estate career, to stay away from stuff like this.
Right.
It's just not good karma. Let those people live there. Or maybe call a guy and say, look, I own this lot. Let's work on this together. Maybe you pay me $50 a month or something like that. In 5 years, you own it. Some version, I don't know. Today's topic, what to do when you can't find a property? Oh, that's a really incorrect teleprompter error on my part.
How about today's topic, how to turn a hate call into a love call?
Saved
This
by
is the
Jill.
meat of the show.
Saved by Jill. Thank you, Jill.
So this new format's got us all goofed up. So in case you're wondering, you're not alone. We are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Land Academy show. We are Tuesday, Thursday, House Academy show. Sounds easy. Not so much.
Well, it would be easy for normal people.
Exactly. We're not normal. So today's topic is really fun because I'm doing this right now. And we decided to make a show out of it because my team has been listening to these calls because they've listened to me take the calls, right? Because I'm taking these LA County calls personally, taking the first wave as they come in just to kind of see what juice is there, get the deals flowing before I pass them off to my team to close the deals. And just kind of gauge the area and gauge these sellers and see how much they know. And by the way, they're smart. It's so funny. Little old ladies that say, I know the zoning at my house. I'm like, really? I'm impressed. So they're listening to my calls and they're actually, I want to share this too. They're actually taking some of my calls and squeezing them without the personal parts down and putting them on social media and things so you can actually hear them. Because it's a great resource and a benefit to be able to hear me in action so you know how to handle these calls. So just so you know they're out there, you can listen to them. So, okay, mailer hits, here it comes, phone rings. You don't know what you're going to get. What do you do the very first thing? Do you weed it out like Steven and say, press 1 for yes, press 2 for no, press 3 if you're sending a hitman to my house? So that could be an option. Don't do that. Answer the phone. Don't screen it. And I hear people going like, oh, I just let it go to whatever. I don't want to talk to them. Well, it doesn't have to be you. It could be an assistant, a service. But I do want a live body answering the phone because I'll tell you that makes a difference. If it's you, that's even better because you're going to give the energy and you're going to do what I'm prescribing here. Number 2, smile and be happy and just be excited that they're contacting you. I answer. It's so funny. And I'll tell you, it takes the wind out of their sails. I answer the phone and my thing is, this is Jill. And they're like, Jill? I'm like, Jill. The Jill on the letter Jill? Yep. The very same Jill. How can I help you? Already right now, I took away all their anger and their angst. They're like, they didn't think I'm going to answer. They're prepared to leave me this fiery voicemail and someone nice and happy and pleasant is on the other end. Well, shucks. Oh, and it's a girl, by the way. Now it's really hard to get mad at them. So, and I really am excited that they're contacting me because I know that there's a reason they're calling me. And usually there are some that just say, take me off your list, right? But those people are usually like me. We just throw it away. Usually there's the reason that they're calling you. They probably do want to sell. They're just hopping mad about your offer. So be happy. You want to interject at any moment? Or do you want me to keep going?
I'll interject at some point.
Okay.
I guess. because I mean, like, so not qualified. You're so much more qualified at this whole topic.
Okay.
You know, the only thing I would interject with is just snarky little silly comments from a data person. No one, that doesn't help anybody.
No, it really doesn't. All right. Number 3, let them say what they need to say. They've got to get it off their chest. You know, if they come in like, you know, hot and mad, don't cut them off. It's going to make it worse. Let them get out there like, you must be nuts. Do you really think that da da da
You let
da?
them go, huh?
Yeah, I do. For not that long.
None of this stuff applies to our personal relationship.
Oh, yeah,
None
that's
of it.
very true. This
Let
is
'em- let 'em
it's not
get-
how this goes
Let
at
them get
all.
it off their chest.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Okay, Jack, I'm going to let you get this off your chest. Go ahead.
Could you imagine?
No.
What were you thinking when you backed the car over my brand new da da da? And I just let you go. Sometimes I do that though. It's
You're
easier
really
if you let the
actually
person go.
Very, very good about that.
Thank you. It's just, you know, let them get it out there. Then quickly address it. Get it out of the way. Go, you know what? I would be mad too. Something like that. You know, whatever you're comfortable with. You don't necessarily have to say, I'm sorry, because I'm not really sorry. Let's be honest. I'm not sorry about my offer because it's probably a pretty good offer. You just didn't like my offer. They didn't like my offer.
So what do you really say? Because I've heard you tell them what you really say.
No, like I make a joke out of it. I'm like, you know what? Or you know what? I will say for real. You know what? I would be mad too. Or like, okay, so here's what I say. Or here's what you're telling me. I forgot 1, maybe 2 zeros. Oh gosh. You know, or sometimes it depends on what they ask me. Sometimes they're asking me like, this is insane. Where did you get this number? I'm like, you know what? I did the best that I could with all the information that I had available. And I'm happy to talk to you about it.
Well, the line that I've heard you recently say, which I love, and I personally would respond to this really well. She says, you know what? In this area, it's pretty clear to me now that it's misassessed. And a lot of this is total full-blown fibbing. Because if you ever listen to the show or if you're in our group, you know we don't use assessment data to price anything ever. But what she says is perfect. I clearly made a mistake with the assessment data that we were provided. So
It's true.
if there's an offer that works or something that's more accurate, let's talk about that.
That's what I've said.
Or some version of that. I would respond to that.
And then I
Because now you're making yourself smart. You're not just like a call service.
exactly that I really put some time into it. So thank you very much. And then I ask them, whatever it is, I address it. Let them know I'm on their side. I did not mean to offend them. Let's get past, we're past that kind of thing. That's my point of that next sentence. I immediately say, bottom line is, do you really want to sell? And if so, what is the right number? Then they go, oh, okay. And that's what you want to happen.
That's the moment you need.
That's what you want. And they're going to go, all right, well, you know what? My mom lives there and she's not moving. She's going to live there through the end of time. Trust me. I do want to sell Jill, but mom's only 70 and I think she's going to live to 95. Oh gosh, whatever it is, they'll tell you, or they'll say, you know what? Actually, my wife has been going around about this. I can't believe you even sent me an offer. This is where we stand. So that's the conversation you now want to have. That's the whole point here. So if they say no, like I said, they never want to sell, whatever, send them on their way, wish them well. If they say yes, now you got there. This is the exact conversation you want. You want to find out what's their bottom number. Maybe explain to them a little bit too how this works. Like, look, obviously I'm not an agent. There's no commission involved. Yay, we both get to save that money. I don't need to negotiate. Your time is valuable. My time is valuable. If you could walk away with a green bag of cash on Tuesday, what would be the bottom number? That's what you're trying to do, and just get that out of them. And these calls, by the way, can be 3-minute, 5-minute max calls. That's all you got to do. And then once they say, here's my number, that's what you need. And you're going to go, you know what?
That's what this whole call is about.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a number.
Right. And along the way in this process, what I forgot to say, you've got the property information. Once they got mad about it and you said, do you even want to sell? They said, yeah. Okay. All right. What's the house, please? Can I have the reference number or what's the address? Okay. This is what it is. Or the APN, And then what you're going to do then is hang up the phone and you're going to let them know, thank you so much. I know I offered you, let's just say $5,000 and you told me, this is Land Academy. You offered $5,000 and you told me you won't take anything less than 9. It's not crazy. It's a double, but it's not crazy. Now you're gonna let them know, thank you. I'm gonna go back, do a lot more work based on what you told me. I didn't know it had this. I didn't know there was a well on it. I didn't know whatever special things going on. Maybe they're right about the area. You're gonna go check it out, and you'll say, and I'll get back to you. And how can I reach you? When's the best times? That kind of a thing. How great is that? You just turned this whole thing around. They were hopping mad. Now they're like, wow, there's some hope going. Hey, babe, I just talked to someone. They're serious. I didn't like their offer. I told them what we'd be willing to sell this for. And she's going to call me Thursday or Friday after, she does some more work on this.
You should do a whole webinar on this.
I know. I need to.
No, I'll write it with you and help you if you want.
I need to.
Really
people have been asking me, and I'll let them say, here's what I have. I had this question. I had that question. They told me this. They told me that.
Well, I think it'd be helpful to probably, have you ever seen a director's cut for a movie and the director talks all the way through it? It would be great to pick like 10 calls because we record everything. It would be great to take 10 calls where some of them were real problematic. Some of them went great. Maybe even a couple where we ended up buying it, and how and why you turn the table.
That's a brilliant idea.
Let me preface this too to the listener / watcher. In the programs that we do, most of them, and for years on end on this show, you've probably heard us say some version of this. We don't negotiate. Well, that's great, Steve and Joe. You guys just spent a whole episode talking about how to negotiate a deal. Here's why. These properties in LA County, they average $1.5 million. And the buyers that are buying these properties don't care about the price. They'll pay retail. Retail sometimes more because they're being converted. They have existing zoning that'll be converted into commercial properties of some sort.
This is the Land Academy show, so I'm just going to show you how it applies to land.
So at our point, the point is, my point is this, and then Jill convert it. You have to, when a mailer starts to come back, you're gonna almost immediately gauge, wow, I priced it really right. There's a lot of, this is gonna be a successful mailer. I got a lot of people calling saying, you know what, this is exactly what I want, signing my offer. So you're gonna gauge that and see if it was priced right, and hopefully you're gonna say, yeah, I did this right, and I got a lot of property coming in, I'm gonna buy it. If that's the case, you don't wanna negotiate with anybody. And all the stuff that Jill just said, not sure it really applies. Because you don't need 500 properties in the exact same spot. So there's a time to negotiate, and on this mailer, it's truly the time to negotiate, or it is for us in our career because we're buying $1.5 million property and selling it for 2 or 2.5. So just gauge your mailer, and don't be too fast and too anxious to listen to these knuckleheads when they call you back. Is all I'm saying.
Well, that's great, Steve. But this is about turning a hate call into a love call, regardless of the property type.
Okay.
That's what this is all about. So I appreciate where you're going, and I think, and I understand that
I don't want to.
You're taking it to a different level and assessing the value of your mailer.
What's new? That's
great. So in an effort to not make this a 45-minute show, I'm going to recap. Answer the phone.
Everything's fine until I wrapped it up like that.
Yeah, I know. It was great if you just left it with me.
Yeah. All right, we'll leave it with you now. Go.
All right, answer the phone. And again, and even for land, this is the way I do it with land too. So not to take the wind out of his sails, he doesn't answer the phone.
That's true.
So he and we have him in our program, by the way. I have lots of land calls that I share with in the Land Academy program in there. You can hear me do this too. And even with land, they might say, it's so funny with land. Often they'll say, $4,925 doesn't work, but $6,000 does. And I'm like, it's $1,000 off? Because I still know I'm still going to double my money. That's all it takes. That's often how those calls go.
Yeah, I shouldn't have talked.
It's okay. We'll let that go. We know your time is valuable. Thanks for spending it with us today. Join us every Tuesday and Thursday for the House Academy show, and then Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, like you're right here now, join us for the Land Academy show. So no matter what, you get us 5 days a week.
Next week, join us on the House Academy show for another interesting episode. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. That was brilliant.
Thanks.
That was useful. I think everyone can agree that some of these shows are really useful. And some of them, not so much.
Thank you. Well, this comes up often. People always, it's so funny. What's too, on our weekly member calls, I've been answering the phone live as it would come in. Everybody's like, oh, I want to hear you do it. I want to hear you do it. So I'm like, put them on speaker and sharing the phone calls with our members on the calls. And I know that they love it. And they get a lot out of that. So I like your idea. I hadn't thought about dissecting the calls. That'd be kind of cool. I'll pick like my top 2 or 3 and say, here what I did there. Try this, try that. And I think you're right. I think that would really help a lot of people.
I'm not kidding when I say this. That is a webinar I would attend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listeners. So wherever you're watching or wherever you are listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.